Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial. I'm making this tutorial because it was requested by, let me just see it. I think it was Alex Bitan. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If I don't, please let me know in the comments below and then I'll try to pronounce it correctly. And also the Patriot of Pakistan. So this video is based on this React authentication with Firebase and Expo. Just adding what was asked here. They wanted to know how to split users into two separate groups. That's what I'm gonna do. So we're still logging, authenticating users using Firebase and Expo, and then we're just gonna split users based on their roles, like teachers and students. So, okay, I've already made this application. I've written all the codes because, as I said, it's based on the previous video. I'll put the link in the description. If you haven't watched it before, um, make sure that you watch it before you watch this one because this one is based on the first one. So I'll put the link in the description and somewhere up here. So yeah, as I said, I've written all the codes. I just took the same app and then just edited a little bit and then added the codes for the purpose of this video, like splitting the users into two groups. And I'm just gonna walk you guys through the code so that you understand what I did and why I did it. So first of all, we're gonna start with the login process. No, the sign up process, because the login process is still the same. We authenticating using email and passwords as we did in the first video. So the login didn't change. What changed is the sign up and the homepage. I just edited the homepage a little bit just to see the difference. So sign up, if you can remember, we're only creating a user with email and passwords. We didn't have all this. But now I added two more text boxes. I added full name because we didn't have one in the previous video, and we also didn't have who are you. You can use a combo box to avoid like mistakes, because someone can write student with a small s, someone can write student with a capital S. Just to avoid mistake, you can use a combo box. But because this is just an example, I'm going to use a text box. I know what I'm supposed to write. So I added two more text boxes, one called full name and the other one is who are you, just for this role. And then, as you can recall, we had this function handle change, which takes the input from the text box and then put it inside our global our state variable here. So yeah, I'm sure you know all this already. So what I'm gonna focus on is this part. So this is the same code as before. uh, we're creating a new user using email and password, and then we're checking if the user was created successfully. Then we know the user ID. So we're gonna create, like, we're gonna add data for this user to Firestore. Firestore is a database management from Firebase. So we're gonna call Firestore and then collection. The collection, we're gonna call it users, and then we're gonna create a new user, and the name of that document will be the ID of the user. We can get the ID from auth firebase dot auth dot current user dot uid. So I've created this auth variable here, up here. So it's just firebase dot auth. Instead of typing it all the time, I just create a constant that I called auth, and then I put in firebase dot auth. And then when I need to use this, I'll just call this. That's what I'm doing here. So auth dot current user dot uid, and then we set the data of this user. We put his ID again. I just like putting it there, and then later on you're gonna see why. It just makes things easier. And then we put the name, we put the role, and the email address. So we're just saving data for this particular user in this collection called users. And this is done after we sure that the user has been create authenticated like successfully, if the user has been created successfully. And then we add the data for this user in Firestore. And here we're just catching errors. I'm sure you know all this by now. So this is the only modification to the sign up page. And then when we go to home, this is where everything is done. So I created two state variable, one called user and then the other one called users, plural. So this user is gonna be for the user who is authenticated, like the user who's just using the app right now. And this one is gonna be for other users. If this one is a student, then this one is gonna be for teachers. But if this one is a teacher, this one is gonna be for students. So here in the use effects, we just fetching the data about the user, the one using the app, the one who is authenticated. So we're going to firestore.collection collection users as we did in sign up, and then doc with the we remember we named it after the ID of the user here. So this is what that's why we also putting the ID here. So we're going inside users and then the doc that has the name of which is the ID of this user, and then we get everything inside there. So if it's successful, we're gonna have the user here and then we're gonna put it inside this state variable. And then we have another use effect here, another hook, and here in the dependencies we passed the user variable, which means every time user changes, this use effect is gonna be called again. So the code inside here is gonna be run again every time user changes. We're gonna run this code. That's why we're passing user as a dependency here. So if user changes, we're gonna run here and then we're gonna check, is there a user? If there is a user, cool, we're gonna fetch the data of the other users. So we're going again inside users here, the collection users, and then we're saying where role. Remember when we're signing up here, we added the role of the user. So we're checking the role where the role is equal. So now here we're just doing a condition. It's like an if statement. We're checking if the current user is a student, then we're gonna look for teachers. But if he's not a student, that means he's a teacher, then we're gonna look for student. So we're only taking documents where the role is equal to teacher or student, depending on the role of the current user. So I'm using on snapshots just to listen to changes. If there is a new user, it's gonna update the states automatically. We don't have to close the app and then open it again. Just listening to changes. So if users is not empty, then we have users and then gonna put them inside our users here, and then we're just gonna render here on the screen. So this is just a simple app. I just added this like a title, welcome, and then we put the name of the current user, and then here's the list of, if this current user is a student, then we're gonna say here's the list of teachers. But if he's a teacher, we're gonna say here's the list of students. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you what the app does and how it works. I hope this is gonna help you. So I'm just gonna run it here. Okay, so I'm gonna run the app. I just give it some time. Okay, so I think it's done. opening it on iOS. So I'm using my two simulators just to show you. I'm gonna log in on one app as a student and on the other one as a teacher. So what iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro. So iPhone 12. Just wait for it. Cool. Now I'm gonna start on iPhone 12 Pro. So I already have a set of teachers and students I created, but I'm just gonna create new ones so that you can see. So I'm gonna okay, open. I'm gonna sign up here as a student. I don't know. I can call him maybe George Ford. J at tests.com. Who are you? Let's say this one is a teacher. Oh, what am I saying? Teacher. Passwords 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So I'm gonna sign up. Yeah, you can see welcome George Ford. Here's a list of students. I already have one student that I called Funk T, and here I'm gonna sign up as a student. Um, Lincoln. I think that's how that right. How do you write his name? I don't know. I'm just gonna call him Malcolm X M at tests.com, and I am a student. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I think it. I hope it's ah. Sorry, guys. Okay, Malcolm X M at tests.com. Students 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then sign up. Boom. And welcome Malcolm X. Here's the list of teachers, and you can see Malcolm X appeared here as a new teacher. That's why I'm using, what is it again? Yeah, that's why I'm using on snapshots. It's always listening for changes. If there is a new user, then it updates automatically. So that's why you can see Malcolm X appeared here. We didn't refresh, but he appeared. And then we can see George Ford, who is a teacher. I also have the other teachers here, and I can even log out and then sign up again as a new teacher, and then it's gonna appear here. Let's call him I don't know. Okay, I'm just creating names. F at test.com. Students 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And here is Funk McDonald. So you can see I've separated users depending on their role, teachers or students. So you just have to add a field like the one I did here when I was adding the data to Firestore. You can separate users depending on, I don't know, admin and something else, or I don't know, director and CEO, for example. I don't know. It's just that's up to you. But here the example was using teacher and students because it was asked by Alex. I think it's Alex. Yeah, Alex. He wanted to know how to do it, and also the Patriot of Pakistan. He also asked for it. Yeah. That's why I'm doing this video for those guys. They really needed it. If you guys need anything, you can just type it in the comment section, and I'll try to see if I can make it up to you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. And just a reminder again, if you haven't watched this video before, I'll put the link in the description, and make sure you watch it before you watch this one, because you will understand things better, and then things will become easier for you. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next time.